I'm Chris Humphries. I'm Chief Executive of the UK Commission for Employment and Skills, and at the ALP conference today I'm going to be talking about where the sectoral and occupational opportunities of the future are, and how we can set about ensuring that more people obtain economically valuable skills that will really fit them for good employment and progression in the future, and how, at a time when there's going to be more need and less money, how we actually ensure that we empower the front line and really help learners and teachers deliver that to that vision.
And how do you see we'll get more for less?
Well, I think there are three ways in which we need to get more for less out of this in the further and higher education area. The first one is that we need to make sure that as much as humanly possible of funding actually reaches the front line. So as we cut back, if we can take more and more of that, not just out of intermediary bodies and quangos and central bureaucracy and command and control systems, but I think we also, in doing that, also have to be able to support colleges and providers to take out some of the admin staff that face the wrong way and try and make sure that every piece of resource we have left gets to the front line. In that way, we can probably absorb bigger cuts than people might think realistic, as long as we absolutely prioritise teaching and learning on the ground. The second thing we need to do is to really try and ensure that every penny we spend in the system is maximised. So, a number of ways that we need to do that. The first one, of course, is almost certainly to expect the employer and the individual to contribute more to those skills that are certainly a higher level. But it's also to make sure that people understand what economically valuable skills for the future are, those skills that will actually get them into a job and keep them in employment, and try and guide and advise those people to make the right choices so we waste less and less people come out of the system with unmet expectations. The third way of doing it then is actually about devolving authority at the local community level, empowering and bringing together in partnership local authorities, employers and colleges to really focus attention on those things that are most relevant for their local labour market and local community, but at the same time empower customers by ensuring that performance information on colleges, destinations, wage gains, job placements, employment rates, everything that the college delivers that the student wants. Let's make sure that information is understood so their choices are informed and we create a better quality and more competitive market.
And Chris, what skills do you see to be the future for the UK?
Well, there are some characteristics that are common, and then you need to look in detail at occupations and sectors. But the common characteristics are, firstly, that certainly all the net new jobs we're going to create are going to be higher level skills. They're going to require skills at least at level 3, and potentially at level 4 and 5. So we're talking about HNDs, HNCs, foundation degrees and full degrees, as well as apprenticeships at level 3 and 4. That's the dominant area of growth. But of course, there are going to continue to be significant numbers of low skilled jobs up to level 2, about 20%. And that's really important because that'll provide an opportunity for those out of the labour market to enter it. What we then got to do is make sure that they have opportunities to progress and increase their skills so they don't get sort of dead-ended into a sort of no-hope job. They actually get into places where they've got opportunities to progress. The second characteristic, 60%, almost 60% of all the new jobs over the next decade are going to require science, technology, engineering or math skills. 60%. It's nothing like the proportion of people that we see completing secondary school with skills in those areas, and yet 60% of all the net jobs, about another 1.9 million new jobs over the decade, 60% of those are going to require STEM skills. So that's a big issue, not just for what we do with young people in school, but how we equipped older people who've left school, young adults, even older workers, to actually get the necessary skills that keep them on that progression ladder. That's the second characteristic. The third characteristic is that there are some really quite critical areas where, in a sense, the failure of a supply of labour is the problem. So hospitality, where actually UK people just don't seem to want to work there. Care and carers, typically a level 2 qualification, huge shortage as older workers are retiring. associate professionals, senior managers in the care system, equally massive shortages, because older workers are retiring and we're not filling them fast enough, and similarly technicians in construction and engineering. So there's some of the ones that stand out. The final one, probably that surprises people, is that we are really running short of teacher trainers. So tomorrow's teachers aren't being produced because the skills we need to actually staff FE colleges, higher education institutions and schools themselves actually in short supply, and we're seeing massive retirement rates. So quite a mixed picture, but our National Skills Audit, Strategic Skills Audit, sets all this out in quite a lot of detail down to the sector level and helps colleges and providers understand where the market's going, as well as enables us to inform learners where the opportunities are.